So why are we starting?
How much sleep last night?
And welcome to the 2022 AVP Pro Series Central Florida Open from Hickory Point Recreation Point in Tavares, Florida. Final event of the season, and for the intro of our teams, let's go courtside to Mark Sherman.
Well, good morning. Good morning, wherever you're watching from. Good morning to Varies. Welcome to a beautiful Saturday morning. We've had an incredible start to today and looking to keep it going. We got Matt and Dane in the booth. I'm down here on the court. And let's bring 4 more guys out to the court, shall we? This first team, this first guy out of Pepperdine University has had a great year here in 2022. 1 week out from his 25th birthday. Let me hear it for Mr. Noah Dyer. And his partner, out of the bag comes his game shirts. He went through 4 warm-up shirts. Here's number, I always find myself rooting for this guy. Love to see him walking up and down the Strand in Hermosa Beach. Give it up for Mr. Lev Priima. I'm gonna wait, you're good. I'll be here. Hey, bud. And their opponents. This first guy, man, he is making a name for himself. One of the rising stars on the AVP out of Metairie, Louisiana. He's a good volleyball player. Super smart, too. The valedictorian out of Holy Cross High School. He is Evan Cory. And his partner, the high flyer. I mean, Marty's pretty smart, too, but definitely not a valedictorian. My first roommate out of Cal State Northridge. Let me hear it for Marty Lorenz.
Well, there you have it, the intro of these 2 squads here as this contenders match gets underway. Matt Prosser alongside Dane Blanton, Olympic gold medalist. Dane, you've been in this situation not very many times. Contenders bracket early Saturday morning. What do you expect to see from these 2 teams?
Well, you're absolutely right. It's not the place you want to be this early, but this is a good matchup. 12 versus 13. For some of these players, the tournament starts when you get into that contenders bracket, and that's when you really have to start to step it up. So it's going to be important to jump out early. It's December, which we're not used to playing this late in the year. So this is going to be exciting.
Well, it's definitely a perfect morning for beach volleyball in Florida as you see Marty Lorenz getting the first point on the board for his side, going with the option play. And now we'll see Evan Cory, the 25-year-old, serve first for his team. Southpaw serve goes over to Lev Priima, his first attack. But the point will go to Priima and Dyer. Right there's a good look at Lev Priima. His first jump serve. He's got a dangerous jump serve. That one passed well by Lorenz. And then Marty comes through the middle, off the net a little bit. A nice swing there, Dane.
Yeah, great swing right there by Marty Lorenz. He's 6'5", resides in Costa Mesa, and they had a tough loss early to Brewster and Friend, who have been playing some spectacular volleyball in 22.
Working on Priima again from the right side. Good block, but there's a cover. Dyer with his first chance now. And he turns that one down the line. The Pepperdine grad scoring on the counterattack.
Yeah, an outside hitter at Pepperdine and starting to make a name for himself on the beach. 6'4", but really long. Covers a lot of court.
And the dig over on one from Dyer right there to score the point. Won't always have to use 3 contacts. That time Dyer scores on defense.
Yeah, as a junior, he had 18 digs in a match at Pepperdine, so he knows how to play some defense.
And you know that gym very well as a Pepperdine wave yourself, Dave.
Yeah, actually, when I saw that stat, I said, I don't know who's in first in that category, but maybe we need to do some research. But definitely Dyer can play some D.
I wouldn't be surprised to see your name on that list as well. Back in the day, side out scoring. But anyways, back to action here. Marty Lorenz now from the left side. Good deflection. Ball has to go over. Another chance now for Lorenz. But Cory going with the option play, the lefty scoring that time.
Yeah, really love the play of Evan Cory. As you mentioned, just 25 years of age, has had a really nice 2022. He's got second twice, still looking for that first victory on the AVP tour. But he's one of those young guns. We're going to be saying his name quite a bit in the years to come.
Yeah, I couldn't agree with you more. The youth movement, those youngsters coming up, making a name for themselves on the AVP Tour and internationally as well. Priima with a strong side out there from the right side to keep that 2-point lead for his team. Priima goes with that short jump hybrid serve taken by Lorenz. And his attack doesn't clear the net, so the hitting error gives Dyer and Priima now a 3-point advantage. Good change up there, Dane, with the short serve.
Yeah, love that jump float short because, you know, whenever you see someone jump serve and you're thinking that ball's going to be deep in the court, and then to go short, it really takes the approach out of the hitter. Let's see if this time they can be successful. Yes, and there's a good hit, but it takes a lot of work to side out on that short jump float.
Extra steps add up as that short serve forces the hitter to go back and forth a little bit, but Lorenz getting the side out that time. Lorenz will jump serve, run up to block, gets a little help from the net. Priima from way off the net turns it down the line and catches it for the point.
Yeah, that's a sign of a really great player. Lev Priima has been doing it for some time now, and to be able to side out from, 10 feet off the net, that is crucial because you're going to be out of system more times than not.
And right on cue, Dane Priima showing his presence at the net, getting the block point.
Yeah, here you see Priima up at the net. He sees it going over on the second contact, gets his hand in position right away.
And Lorenz follows up with another hitting error into the angle, so some consecutive points there by Dyer and Priima leads to a timeout called by Lorenz and Cory.
Yeah, I think this is a good timeout right now. You don't want to let this thing get too out of control. It's already a 5-point lead, and you can see it for Cory and Lorenz, the first tournament as partners, 64 combined AVP tournaments. But sometimes, you have that honeymoon and you play really well in your first event together, and other times it can be a big struggle, and right now they're trying to figure it out.
Well, this side extremely athletic, and we know how dangerous Evan Cory can be with the option play as that right side left-handed player. So look for him to get involved a little bit more offensively if Marty Lorenz continues to see the serves. But got their coach talking to him, working on some strategies here. Meanwhile, for Lev Priima and Craig Dyer, they can kind of just keep doing what they're doing and allow the other team to make those hitting errors, but keep the pressure on them from the inline, right, Dane?
Yeah, what I like so far from Dyer and Priima is that they're very intentional. Their serving has been intentional. The blocking is on point. You get a block, and then all of a sudden you see Marty Lorenz trying to go around the block, hits the ball out of bounds. So they're applying pressure slowly and playing some really consistent volleyball.
So after that timeout, Noah Dyer will be our next server, enjoying a 5-point advantage now here early on in set number 1. Serves down the line to Marty. And Marty showing his athleticism, jumping nice and high and slapping that ball back to the line.
Yeah, but you can tell that Lev Priima is kind of in his head right now. He's dictating what Lorenz does, and so that's going to be something to watch as this match goes on. Can Lorenz deal with the block of Priima?
Five serving 9. Cory goes over to Dyer. His left side attack goes into the net. So right now, Dane, that right side of the court proving to be challenging for the left side attacker. We've seen a couple hitting errors there.
Yeah, it doesn't look like there's too much of a breeze. If you can see the flags in the background, very still. So not sure why players having trouble from that position.
Yeah, good rebound there by Dyer to get the side out. So Priima with a 4-point advantage now, goes with a strong jump serve, but too strong as it goes through the inline. That serve catches the net on the way through. Dyer from the left, nice dig, but it goes over, and Priima's there to slap it down for the easy point.
Yeah, left Priima, 6'4" blocker, but he's always in the right position. Here comes the over dig, and he's right there to put it where they're not. Always on point, left Priima at the net.
Working on Lorenz again from the left side, and he goes sharp angle and down right in front of Dyer's defense for the point.
Yeah, Marty Lorenz out of Cal State Northridge, 6'3". He's got a lot of range up there. It's just about getting that experience. He's 31 years of age and looking to make some gains here late in this 22 season.
And Dyer this time going down the line for the kill. So the strategy of serving Dyer is showing his side out capabilities. Nice swing by him. This time Priima gets some help from the net. Lorenz through the middle though. Nice dig over on 2 from Dyer. Nice awareness to score the point and take us to our 21-point technical timeout. 13-8 in favor of Dyer and Priima.
Yeah, I love what Dyer and Priima are doing right now. They're very consistent. They're taking care of business as we head to an outer court where Caldwell and Kalinske winning 22-20 over Brunner and Schalk. And Brunner and Schalk looks like they're turning it around and coming back here, Matt.
That's a bit of a surprise. This is a contenders bracket match as well. Brunner and Schalk, the 1 seed, losing their match yesterday. So there's a nice over on 1, but Theo into the net on that play.
Yeah, Matt, you
That'll
mentioned
be an interesting match.
Yesterday, Queckel and Zaka taking down the #1 seed. You don't see that very often. The #1 seed in the tournament being knocked into the contenders bracket, and they got a fight on their hand right here.
Yeah, they absolutely do. As we get ready to continue back on Stadium Court here, the winners of this match will advance to face Cook and Weber later on this morning. Of course, Weber, former partners of Evan Cory, so that could make for an interesting matchup if it were to develop that way. But they've got some work to do here as Priima gets us back to action.
You're up. Right. Nice.
Good reset there by left Priima, and then slicing it from the right side, Dane, for the point.
Yeah, Priima and Dyer really look sharp right now. They're really dictating the pace. They're almost, playing a game of chess with Cory and Lorenz. They're serving the ball in the right position, and it's really putting Cory and Lorenz in a compromised position.
Cory getting a chance on the offensive side, but Priima digs it over the net. Another dig by Priima. And Lev showing his capabilities on the counterattack, going down the line to score.
Yeah, what I love most about that was the set by Dyer. He got his arms out nice and flat on this high dig, puts it right in position, opens up the line shot for Priima.
Yeah, Dane, can you speak really fast on how important it is to be a solid and consistent transitional setter for your partner?
Oh, it's everything, and I wasn't a hand setter, I was a bump setter, and Matt, we played together quite a bit. It's so important. You get that ball up in the air, you have to give your partner a good set if you want to be successful on this tour. If you don't, it's just another dig that goes for naught, and you don't score the point. So a big premium on scoring.
So good.
Now Priima right there scoring from the right side as well, as Lorenz can't handle it, and this lead just continues to build for Dyer and Priima here in set number 1. Marty Lorenz somehow finds the point. Not sure that's how he practiced it, but still finding the open space for the side out.
Yeah, just like you're saying, Matt, it's just an unorthodox way to get the ball to the sand, and that's because Lorenz and Cory are really, kind of playing catch-up right here.
And a great set there from Priima to his partner Dyer, attacking that one down the line for their 17th point.
Yeah, consistency is the name of the game out here for sure. And right now, Dyer and Priima extremely consistent, not giving away many points at all and putting on all the pressure.
Marty attacks that ball cross court into the net. And now an 8-point advantage for Priima and Dyer on the side switch.
You can just see the frustration right there by Lorenz trying to go around the block of Dyer, of Priima, and just having all sorts of trouble right now. This is when, you say the blocker's really in the hitter's head.
Line! Hey, come on.
Now Marty that time perhaps unleashing a little frustration on that ball, attacking it nicely to score.
That's what you do sometimes. Sometimes you blast it and hope for the best, especially when things aren't going your way.
Cory with a chance now after the dig. And they score on that transition point. So perhaps now for Lorenz and Cory, just trying to find a little momentum to carry him over into set number 2, Dane.
Yeah, that was a really nice transition play. The ball was dug in position, and then Cory was able to blast him. Maybe that'll give them some momentum here.
Good chase down by Marty, but a chance for Dyer. Priima on 2, but he hits that one out of bounds.
And finally, Dyer and Priima kind of coming back to earth. They were playing flawless volleyball and got that huge lead, and now it seems Cory and Lorenz maybe getting a little traction.
Yes, great shot.
Now that time Priima uses all 3 contacts and gets the point on that cross-court shot. Just 2 points away now from taking this opening set. Noah Dyer will serve. And then Cory going with the option play, finding the open court for the point.
It's so nice to have a left-hander playing on the right side because it opens up that option play. I'd like to see Cory and Lorenz use that more times than not.
Oh, you're absolutely right. Opens up the option play, but also takes a little pressure off of your partner if perhaps they're struggling to side out from the left side. But no struggle that time by Dyer as he gets the point and is now set point for Priima and Dyer here. First set point fought off with that service error. 2015 side switch. So Marty's going to serve, and look at that, Cory blocking here at set point. And Priima just goes high down the line to take set number 1, 21-15, Dane.
Yeah. Not sure if they just wanted to take a little bit of a break there, but it's Dyer and Priima. They're up 21-15 at the break.
Stay with us. We'll be right back for set number 2.
Dear Mainland, aloha. My brother and I hear lots of you have discovered a real Hawaiian favorite, Big Wave Golden Ale. That's the good kind stuff, yeah, bro. Maybe it's the island flavor that makes each sip taste like a little vacation.
Got your beers here.
That's a whole lot of little vacations right there, huh, brother? That's like a big vacation. Retirement. One life, right? Mahalo. Big Wave Golden Ale from Kona Brewing.
And welcome back to Stadium Court here. Stats from set number 1, Dane. What do you see that stands out to you here?
Well, I mean, complete dominance right now by Dyer and Priima, hitting 560, almost twice the hitting percentage, which is huge. And then 2 blocks to 0. And then you see the aces to errors, a couple of errors for Dyer and Priima. Not many aces, right? But they're putting the pressure. They're putting the Cory and Lorenz in really tough situations with the short serve, as you mentioned, and that's what's going to have to change. Cory and Lorenz need better ball control.
And right on cue, good service pressure there from Evan Cory as Marty Lorenz puts down the overpass off of Dyer to take the early lead here in set number 2.
Oh, look, come on, come on. Over again, sleep. Okay,
More pressure from Evan Cory, and Marty Lorenz at the net takes care of point number 2 now for his side.
Yeah, well, love what I'm seeing right now out of Cory and Lorenz. They came out, they obviously talked about that they need to bring it here. They were almost on cruise control. They were not dictating the pace. They are now.
But Dyer responding nicely on his 3rd chance, attacking that ball right down the middle to get his team on the board.
Nice rip right there by Cory. And then Dyer, big double arm lift right out of the middle of the court. He's very effective.
Hey, great pass.
Evan Cory playing with some purpose here in set number 2, getting the point on that option play once again.
So nice to have that option in the back pocket. You pass that ball up, it's just another offensive look. We saw that all season long from Miles Partain, who really is effective at using that kind of fake option as well as hitting the option. It just really causes all sorts of issues for the defense.
Well, some issues right now for Dyer and Priima. They find themselves down by 3 after that hitting error. Solid service pressure coming from Evan Cory and Marty Lorenz now.
That's out of bounds, 5-1.
And that attack goes out of bounds long, so the lead continues to grow for Marty and Cory.
Yeah, so you see, that's a tough play. That's a right-sider who's right-handed, Lev Priima, trying to option. There's just not a lot of court to work with.
Better in-system play that time from Priima and Dyer to get their 2nd point and make the side switch.
Interesting, you see how Cory fell on his butt there. You always want to have that weight going forward to dig that ball. He was in the right position, but just kind of fearing the big hit.
Line! No!
Marty finds the inline on that strong attack from the left side, gets the side out.
Somehow got it, Noah. Yeah.
Going to the jump float serve down the middle. Dyer challenging Marty's block and hitting that one off the hands and out of play.
Yeah, I really like the block of Marty Lorenz, but the only thing I would adjust is him being up a little bit earlier and pressing just a little quicker, and he might have a block there.
Dyer with an easy dig that time. And he turns it right back on the counterattack. Now just down by 2 after that play.
Yeah, Dyer right now not happy with his start in the second set, and he's letting everybody know it right there. He's taking a little frustration out on that last hit.
Continuing work on Lorenz, but Cory showing some finesse that time, going over on 2 with the option play.
Yeah, love this play by Cory. Sees the opening, uses his offhand, his right hand, and he just dinks that ball just short.
It just goes to speak on how important it is to be able to utilize your non-dominant hand in beach volleyball, Dane.
Yeah, it's so important. You know, you see some players that are really good with both the right and the left, regardless of their strong hand. And you just never know. That's the fun thing about volleyball, is the creativity, and you find yourself in some interesting situations, and you got to be able to kind of go both ways.
I was like, you need a send for that shot?
One of the best in the business of that was the now Hall of Famer Sean Rosenthal. I remember he used to go up with a right-footed approach as he was going to hit with his right hand, but then last second hit with his left, and it caused a lot of problems for the blockers.
Yeah, he was impressive at that. You just didn't know what hand he was coming in with, and if everybody could do that, you don't see it very often.
So back to it now. Serve goes over to Priima from the right side. His cut shot doesn't clear the net, and it's back to a 4-point advantage for Evan and Marty now.
Nice pass right there by Lev. And then he just cuts the ball left into the net. I think he let it drop. Got to get that ball high.
And right on cue, you see his hand stay up on the contact from the right side that time to score the point and get the side out. So trying to play a little catch up here, down by 3 in set number 2 after a pretty dominant opening set. Some broken play. Pokey set from Dyer, but Priima misses, so the hitting errors continue to plague Priima and Dyer.
Now that's a huge missed opportunity right there. Dyer and Priima have to score on that. It's a tough serve. It comes over on the first contact. They don't pass it well, and that's what starts the trouble. A pokey set off the net, resulting in a hit out of bounds, and you have to capitalize on those situations.
So everything going in favor of Cory Lorenz here in set number 2, enjoying that 4-point advantage on the side switch. More service pressure. Cory runs down that shot, but a double contact called against Marty Lorenz on that handset.
My fault, guys. They didn't let me wipe my hands. But their hands are pretty cold. Okay.
So Priima and Dyer escape with that one, keeping them within 3. Unfortunate there for Marty Lorenz on that double contact. But Dyer will serve, staying on Lorenz here on the left side. Big serve by Marty, and Dyer can't handle that one as it goes off his platform and up into the crowd.
Yeah, that's a huge hit right there. Love the aggressive play so far in this set from Cory and Lorenz. They have turned the tables. The big question is, can they keep the consistency here?
Nice. Way to cut that.
Priima showing his range as he sneaks in that pokey shot over the block.
Yeah, and that just shows you can't just be power all the time. You have to switch it up. You have to have that finesse in your back pocket.
Come on,
We
Lev.
got a flip fault.
And a foot fault called against Lev Priima. Don't see that one very often. So an easy side out for the opponents.
Take one. Yeah. Yeah, dude.
Jump serve from Evan. Cory goes into the net. So back-to-back service errors from both sides. Eight serving 11. Dyer goes over to Lorenz.
Hey.
Good set, and Marty going wrist away with the angle winner that time, Dane.
Yeah, Marty's getting his work in, definitely getting a lot of serves. And remember, in the last set, he was cutting that ball into the net. He's made the adjustment. He's reaching a lot higher where he's much more effective.
So 1 point from the technical timeout. A key point here for Priima and Dyer if they can get it.
Right here,
Overpass, though. Chance now for Evan. Cory on 2. Aggressive play, but he misses it, Dane.
Yeah, you're seeing a lot of kind of unforced errors out there as we go out to court number 1, all tied up. This is a battle, Matt, here in the third set, and all the pressure has to be on Brunner and Schull.
Absolutely, as the 1 seed, they don't want to go uno dos, adios here. This is a very important moment late in set number 3. Losers are done. Winners will stay in the contenders bracket. Brunner going with a jump serve.
Push. And let it go.
Nice run down there by Kame. Sets off the net, and Kame showing his vision to go back down the line past Billy Kalinske for the point.
Yeah, that was risky. Went right at Kalinske, and Kalinske could not handle it. A little frustration there as they go down by 2 and they call a timeout.
Well, that team of Caldwell and Kalinske, very entertaining. Billy Kalinske, the journeyman, right? Picking up the younger Caldwell, who had a great season, pairing up with David Lee, former gold medalist with the men's indoor national team from Beijing. They won the Atlantic City event earlier this summer. Cody Caldwell, very springy, lengthy, very athletic. So back to stadium court now as technical timeout comes to a conclusion. Evan Cory and Marty Lorenz up by 3 after losing set number 1. Trying to force this match into a third set, possibly as well, Dane.
Yeah, and the way that Cory and Lorenz are playing in this second set, we might see a third set. They just have to keep the consistency, just play nice volleyball just like that as Lorenz just takes a look, surveys a little bit on the defense, and then before he puts it away. I think in the first set, he was kind of going up, hitting blind, not knowing where the block was, not knowing where the defender was, playing much higher level volleyball now.
And there's a big swing by Lev Priima, but just to go back to your point, Marty Lorenz and Evan Cory definitely limiting those attacking errors that we saw in set number 1 to a better side out percentage here in set 2. For Dyer and Priima, do you think they should change it up, maybe start serving over to Evan Cory a little bit more, Dane?
Well, I don't know. I mean, they're in striking distance right now, so they've, kind of closed the gap. So I think what worked early, there's a block as you see, but what I think worked early was, they went over to Lorenz, and I say you keep going to him. He's not as battle tested.
And Lorenz gets a chance right there, but he hammers that ball off of Prima's block and well into the crowd for a good side out. Back to a 3-point advantage now.
You look at these teams and we talk about how the number 1 seed got upset by the number 16 seed. There's so many great athletes, so many great players. The biggest difference between the good teams and the great teams out here is consistency and lowering the unforced errors. You can't hit balls out. You can't hit balls in the net at this level if you're going to win.
I couldn't agree with you more, Dane, as we see a side out there from the right side of left Priima once again. And you said it earlier, staying within striking distance, now only down by 2.
Yeah! Wow!
12. To get it within 1 is fourth block.
Now down by only 1 after that point.
Yeah, I think that Cory is going to that option a little too often right now, and it's not fooling Dyer and Priima.
Net violation and a kill.
And a net violation that time on Lev Prima's block. Takes us to the 13-15 side switch, but Dane, just to go back to your point about Evan Cory on the option play, as a lefty, you know, he can attack, but he also hasn't really done any jump setting yet to try to keep Lev Priima honest, perhaps sort of bait him for that play to perhaps happen as this match continues.
Yeah, I agree. If you are jump setting, then you got the blocker has to stay honest. He has to respect that hit.
Well, there's a great dig by Evan Cory, and Marty going on his own option play that time to score the 16th point for his team. Jump serving from what has sort of become the better serving side in this match, but Priima responds nicely with a good right side attack.
It's so interesting. You never know when you're going to get a run of points, and it's going to make the difference. In this one, Cory and Lorenz jumped out early in the second set, and they're trying to hang on to that lead. The big question, is it enough to get them to 21?
Another.
Left Priima with another huge block here in this second set. Now down by 1. Dyer with a serve again over to Marty Lorenz. This time Marty sliced it inside the block for Priima for the point.
Yeah, doesn't Marty Lorenz look so much better here in the second set? He hit a few of those balls in the bottom of the net. Now he's hitting the ball at least 12 to 15 inches above the net. Really solid adjustment by Lorenz.
Tight set there, Lorenz at the net, keeps it alive. That's got to go over. Now Dyer from the right side. And Marty with a nice wait and hang and block back for the point.
And you heard the high line call right there by Priima, and Dyer went low line, it looked, and challenged the block and paid dearly for it.
Nice patience there by Marty Lorenz. Now a 3-point advantage as he'll serve again. Business end of set number 2 now. Lev continuing to be aggressive with his attacking, this time going high hands and scoring the point, Dane. Quick flashback to a couple points ago, the monster block in the match. Lev Priima getting it in set number 2 right there, keeping his team in this match.
No, I didn't touch it. No, watch the video. Yeah.
And now a timeout being taken by Dyer and Priima, down by 2 in set number 2.
We're in the middle of the timeout. Team timeout by Kane Shaw and Theo Brunner. They're taking on Cody Caldwell and Bill Kalinsky. They're coming back out.
I think this is a good timeout right now. You might as well use it. You get 1 timeout per set, and kind of want to stop the momentum here and kind of turn the tides.
Speaking of turning the tides, Dane, Kalinsky, Caldwell serving at match point now, trying to knock out the 1 seeds.
Yeah, this could be devastating for Brunner and Schultz.
Trouble, and they've done it, Dane. Unbelievable. Cody Caldwell and Billy Kalinsky getting the deuce game victory in set number 3, 17-15, and knocking out the 1 seed Theo Brunner and Kane Schultz.
Yeah, this is wild, and you got to ask yourself what happened right there, because Brunner and Schalk had an amazing 2022. Maybe this tournament being in December, maybe they took some time off, maybe we're not as sharp as usual. We can only speculate, but uno dos, adios for the top seed. You do not see that very often. That's a huge shocker.
Huge shocker, and it's going to make for a very long winter for those two. Back to it on Stadium. Marty Lorenz, blocked but covered, goes on two. Dyer gets the dig. His chance now, nice recycle.
Line! Yes! Sorry!
And Dyer again on the counterattack, scoring to stay within one. Now 17-18 side switch.
Let's push!
Quick glance at our seeds is obviously talking about a Brunner and Schalk eliminated. Opening up the field, Taylor Crabb, Phil Dalhauser, that team that so many people have wanted to see for so long, the 2 seed. But look down there, the 5 seeds, Kyle Friend and Tim Brewster, enjoying a solid season, Dan, like you said. But there's an attack error by Marty Lorenz, and it's 18-all now in set number 2.
Yeah, looking at those top seeds, you know, a lot of interesting teams. Taylor Crabb, Phil Dalhauser, and then the reunited team of Triborn and Hayden out there. It's going to get interesting as we get deep into this tournament, no question about it, but things definitely opening up with Brunner and Schalk being eliminated.
Now Evan Cory scoring on the option play, 19 serving 18 now. And Marty Lorenz getting a nice block on left Priima. Brings it to set point.
Well, that's a huge block right there. Instead of it being 19-all, Cory and Lorenz have a huge opportunity to close this out.
Oh, but Evan Cory's float serve goes into the net. An unfortunate service error that time. Chance for Dyer now, down by 1. Looking for a little bit of magic here to extend this second set. Serve goes over to Marty from the left side. And Marty continuing to swing confidently, that time scoring and taking set number 2, 21-19. Stay with us for set number 3 coming up on Stadium Court right after these quick commercials.
Dear Mainland, aloha. My brother and I hear lots of you have discovered a real Hawaiian favorite, Big Wave Golden Ale. That's the good kind of stuff, yeah, bro. Maybe it's the island flavor that makes each sip taste like a little vacation.
Got your beers here.
That's a whole lot of little vacations right there, huh, brother? That's like a big vacation. Retirement. One life, right? Mahalo. Big Wave Golden Ale from Kona Brewing.
It's the choices we make that define us.
Tryon Trevor is coming off a tough, heartbreaking loss.
And ultimately, the enemy is within. Some people want it. Some wish for it. But others make it happen.
Tryon Trevor, super lethal, bringing fire and passion to the court.
How will you take charge?
All right, here we go, gentlemen.
So Tender's bracket action heating up here on Saturday morning from Central Florida. Thanks for joining us here. Matt Prosser alongside Dane Blant to start set number 3 between Noah Dyer, Lev Priima, and Evan Cory, Marty Lorenz. Losers are eliminated. Winners will advance. Play later on this afternoon. Dane, been back and forth, but what do you expect to see here in set number 3?
Well, you know, I expect to see Dyer and Priima come back. You know, they had a lapse at the beginning of set number 2 and never were able to recover, but they were playing good volleyball the rest of the time. It's going to be a tight one. I'm going to give it to Dyer and Priima, but I love what I'm seeing out of Lorenz and Cory. So it's probably going to come down if I were to predict 15-12, probably Dyer and Priima, but they're going to have to step their game up.
All right, we'll put that bet in 15-12 in favor of Dyer Priima. It's 1-0 now as Dyer gets ready to serve. Cory missing his first one of set number 3. Staying on Marty Lorenz. He comes through the middle, but Prima's there, but blocks it out of bounds, Dane.
Yeah, a lot of these blockers just a little bit late. You see how jumps up, still forming the block when he gets hit. He's not yet pressed over, and I think if he's pressed over, it's a stuff block. You would know best, Matt. You're the big blocker at the net.
Well, that's a bit of a tricky one. You feel like you're in the right spot, but he just missed his sideline. Nice response, though, to get the side out from the right side. Just unfortunate, yeah, as the blocker, you think you've done everything right. Get a good block on the ball and then just missing it by a ball width. Now Priima to serve again, over to Marty Lorenz. Cory on 2 that time. He hammers that one down for the point.
Yeah, that was the perfect opportunity to crush that ball in the second contact. The server was the blocker, had to get all the way up to the net, did not get there in time, Lev Priima.
Nice dig there from Evan Cory. Now a chance for him from the left. And he hits that ball cross court for the winner.
Love that hit right there. Dyer and Priima kind of reeling right there as Cory comes in and just smashes that ball. Maybe they heard me predict the wrong direction and take a little anger out there. That was a great hit.
There's another dig from Evan Cory. Oh, but his third contact doesn't clear the net.
I like that idea right there, but when you're in a position like that, laying it out on the ground, you might want to just keep it in, give yourself another chance defensively.
Yeah, and in their first tournament together, you're seeing them sort of develop through this match.
Marty, you got blood?
Making some big moves on defense there by Evan Cory to start set number 3. It worked a couple minutes ago, nearly worked that time as well, Dane. As Marty gets a little extra tape on the fingers, and this is only the second event together as partners for Noah Dyer and Lev Priima. Obviously, these guys all know each other really well, practicing together. See, best finish on the AVP Tour is a 7th place from Huntington just a few weeks back. But back to it now, 3-3 in set number 3 here on Stadium Court. And Dyer will get us back to action. Marty from the left side going strong down the middle to score that time.
Yeah, solid pass by Marty. Waited, came in, hit that ball at its apex. He's just really reaching higher in these latter sets as opposed to what he was doing at the beginning. Maybe he's nice and warm and ready to go now, but if he hits that ball at that high level, it's very difficult to defend against.
Well, there's a really nice side out by Lev Priima and Noah Dyer. That pass was not in system, but Lev getting a great set from his partner and then hammering that ball with no blocker in front of him through the middle and deep into the court for the point. Prima's going to jump serve as Dyer will stay at the net this time. And that's an advantage for Marty Lorenz as he finds that blocker's hands and that ball goes out of play.
Yeah, Marty Lorenz really starting to use the correct shot at the right time, knowing when to blast it, knowing when to break out the finesse.
There's a nice dig by Evan Cory. The counter attack gets picked up by Priima. And Priima this time takes a little bit off and cuts it right in front of Cory's defense.
Yeah, Priima making it look easy right there. Came in, saw that the cut shot was wide open. No need to blast it, just place it and get it to the sand.
Dyer's jump serve goes over to Marty Lorenz. On the left side, and Lev Priima reaches into the angle to get the block.
That's just smart blocking right there by Lev Priima. He'd been beat a few times cross court. He knows that Marty Lorenz likes to hit that cross court. This time he waits, jumps into the angle at the last second, gets a stop block.
Oh, and a net violation called against Priima that time. A bit unfortunate as Noah Dyer had gotten the dig.
No, that was your shoulder.
Lev Priima getting called for the net. I don't know if he thinks taking his shirt off is going to solve that problem, but he was not happy with the call, no question about it. A crucial call, too.
Yeah, big moment in set number 3 for your T-shirt to brush the net on your block. Brings us to 6-6 here in set number 3. Priima right back, but Marty Lorenz gets some redemption with a huge block.
Yeah, how about that, huh? Right back at you. It was Priima who got the angle block just a moment ago, and now Marty Lorenz giving it right back to him to get a 7-6 lead.
Big moment there for Marty Lorenz. What can he do from the end line now? Goes right back down the line to Lev. And another good deflection on the block, but it goes out of play, so the point will go over to Priima and Dyer. Dane, this match has turned into basically Lev Priima against Marty Lorenz on the offensive side of the ball. Expect to see any kind of change in strategies here?
No, I think that both blockers are covering that angle. See where Lev Priima goes right there. Oh, a shot gobbled up, and a big opportunity to score right there. But you're absolutely right. Who's going to own the net down the stretch, I think, is going to be the difference.
Now, great counterattack there by Noah Dyer after the dig. Gives them a 1-point advantage now on the 8-7 side switch. Staying on Lorenz here from the left. There's another dig by Dyer, but it goes over. Second chance for Marty. Good deflection, joust to the net, and Marty wins that one.
Marty Lorenz is everywhere right there. He almost puts that shot into the corner, but then the ball is over Doug, and what does he do? Open hand, pushes it back into the court. Very smart play right there.
Yeah, just a bit unfortunate for Noah Dyer, who had a nice dig on that ball, but traveled up over the net, allowing Lorenz to attack it.
Now, that's what I always say to players. When you dig a ball, it's better to dig it 10 feet off the net than 1 foot over the net, right? Keep it on your side, give yourself an opportunity.
So 8-8 in set number 3. Evan Cory steps up to the end line, goes with that jump float serve over to Priima. And Lev responds nicely with that crisp line shot that time, Dane.
Yeah, really placed well right now. And this is going to be interesting. You know, both teams have kind of taken account of what the opposition wants to do, and now it's time to execute. You know, if your opponent's hitting that high line or that cutty, are you ready for it now? And can you make them pay and score the point?
Staying on Lorenz from the left, and he continues to aggressively swing and get the side out. Now 9-all.
What I like about Cory, he's really been selective on his over on 2. Early on in this match, we saw him going over, I think, too much. Now he's picking his spot.
There's a chance for Evan Cory. Right on cue, Dane. Counterattack, blasting it off of Lev Priima's defense for the point.
Just smart volleyball Cory and Lorenz have started to play here, and it's gotten better as this match has gone on for them.
Good vision there by Lev Priima to see Evan Cory break to the line perhaps a little too early. Lev just goes with a cut shot for the winner, and that's the 10-all side switch here in set number 3.
Our second battle to start today.
Exactly what you'd expect from number 12 taking on number 13. Third set, back and forth, game to 5.
Priima with the short jump serve.
Line. Hey, we're not to listen.
And Marty goes with a cut shot. Good vision by him.
Yeah, great vision right there. Sometimes you overrule your partner's call, and that's why you heard Cory say, way not to listen. Cory had called line, Lorenz one angle.
Oh, the trickler ace from Evan Cory. The timing of that could not be any better. Now a 2-point advantage here in set number 3. Let's see what he follows it up with. Goes to the jump serve again. This time over to Dyer. And Dyer's attack goes into the net. A 3-point advantage now.
You know, Matt, that's one of those situations where we haven't been calling Dyer's name in quite some time. Almost they put him to sleep over there, and then all of a sudden they serve him and looked like he wasn't ready to go right there. Wasn't engaged, wasn't his best hit. It wasn't at a very high point. It ends up in the net, and now I think Dyer and Priima are in all sorts of trouble.
Yeah, I agree with you, Dane. Also forces Lev Priima to handset, who's been siding out and attacking throughout the majority of this match. You saw that set drift off the net a little bit. Good awareness by Marty Lorenz to drop on his block, as we saw Dyer hit that ball into the net. But you see it there. The winner will move on. Play Cook and Weber later this afternoon. It's a very athletic and entertaining team to watch. Good crowd on hand for what's turning out to be a beautiful Saturday here in Florida. And right now, a 3-point advantage in set number 3, Dane.
Yeah, it's so interesting to have an event, you know, this being the 15th event on the AVP this year, the final event, and to play deep into December. A big challenge for all these athletes because you're used to shutting it down, having a couple months off, and it's tough to be at your peak in December, but you can tell a lot of these athletes are.
Now Evan Cory preparing to serve. He has the lone ace, the only player with an ace in this entire match. That's a bit rare to see. Let's see what he can do now.
That is out for now.
Just missing the inline after the timeout.
Will either have a match point.
Yeah, I think after a timeout, you got to come out there and make them handle that ball, Dyer and Priima. They'd just given you one, and then you let them off the hook. That's exactly why they called the timeout in the first place.
Well, a big moment here for Lorenz and Cory. If they can side out, it'll bring them to match point.
Easy.
Cory on 2 to the corner, places that one down nicely. So the 14-11 side switch. 3 match point opportunities for Marty Lorenz and Evan Cory after losing the opening set here on Stadium Court. Marty will serve for the first chance. Over to Priima from the right. Off the tape and catches the sideline. First match point saved.
So this looks like, Matt, my exact prediction, just the opposite direction.
And Evan Cory decides to call a timeout, catch his breath here as they get ready to side out for match point. But your prediction, just to remind everybody at home, was 15-12 in favor of Priima and Dyer as we check back over onto court number 1. Chase Budinger and Reed Pretty pairing up for this event, taking on Jake Dietrich and Hagen Smith in another contenders bracket match. Hagen serving.
Out.
And Chase Budinger missing down the line.
Yeah, you know, I like this team of Pretty and Budinger. You know, it'll be very interesting to see how they progress throughout the weekend here, but they're very athletic, fun to watch.
Very athletic, but so is Dietrich and Hagen Smith. Athletic and young. So after that timeout, 12 serving 14s. Match point opportunity number 2 now for Evan Cory and Marty Lorenz. Lev Priima will serve. Easy jump serve from Lev over to Marty from the left side. And Marty Lorenz gets it with that strong cross-court attack. 15-12 to take the match and stay alive here in Central Florida.
Yeah, and I got to give a lot of credit to Cory and Lorenz, who turned this thing around, did not start the match sharp and turned it around and finished on a very high note.
Yeah, great response by Marty Lorenz and Evan Cory after losing that opener. Well, highlights here. Didn't play their best brand in set number 1, but came back, took set number 2, and then a convincing 15-12 set 3 win, Dane, in set number 3.
Yeah, you can see early on it was Cory trying to go over on 2. He became smarter as it went on, picked his spots. I thought up at the net, Marty Lorenz, he was more and more effective, and his side-out game was on point, and we just started to click together and put all sorts of pressure on Priima and Dyer, and it was just too much in the end, and that's how you want to finish strong.
Now the honeymoon phase continues for Lorenz and Evan Cory in their first event together as we get a glance at the match statistics. Hitting percentages, Dane, made a big change from set number 1 throughout that match. 6 blocks for Lev Priima, but not enough. Only 1 ace. It goes to Evan Cory in set number 3. But that'll do it here from Stadium Court. Next up will be a women's match. Thanks for joining us, Matt Prosser, Dane Bland, the AVP. Stay with us for more.